Let's go for the part 4. In part 4, I'm going to cover a few ideas about language development. I'm sure that you know many details about how language is being developed over the process of brain development. But just giving you a few kind of snapshots, and I think that what you can learn from language could also be extended in other cognitive domains. So that is what I'm interested to talk about, to give you a sense about how language development would be happening, and then we will discuss about social cognition development, and we will conclude with some brain injury issues at that point. So if we show newborn kids, or we present newborn kids with their mother voice and a stranger voice, and use EEG, this is what we can do. And EEG with what we call source localization. So source localization, as then there is a timing issue. Probably this is an ERP, and the EEG data were time locked. But you can see as early as 100 milliseconds after being exposed to mother's voice, compared to a stranger's voice, they can have activation on the left side compared to having activation on the right side for a stranger voice. And this is something consistent which we will have found in different EEG or ERP studies, that kids could just differentiate mother's and stranger's voice even at their really early development. And then when we talk about a 3-month-old baby and we give them backward speech, it means that giving them those words in something like from end to a start, and then giving them forward the speech, which is the normal speech that we have. So technically they have the same content of words and kind of, let's say, phonological characteristics, but the difference is that this one is meaningful, this one is not meaningful. And then when we compare them, we can see that there is a significant higher activation when we expose them to forward-related speech in prefrontal areas. So it seems that there is a level of understanding and involvement of the conscious experience when they are exposed to forward speech compared to backward. And it seems that even a 3-month-old baby is understanding or getting into the understanding of some of the dialogues that are happening around him or her in the process of brain development. So that is amazing that even at that age of that really young age, kids would be able to process the phrases and the language that we have happening around them. And even as I've told you, it could be happening even before birth. So it seems that kids would start to listen to their mom's voice before their birth, and they are able to process that. So as soon as they are being delivered, they can recognize their mom's voice from a stranger voice. And then I have another slide or two slides which is a little bit more complex. Then let me just walk you through the slide step by step. The first issue is that there are some, let's say, language processings, that some of them are faster, as you can see here. There are fast processes and there are slow processes, okay? These fast processes are labeled as bottom-up processes that are happening fast in areas related to initial language processing. And then there are some top-down processes that are slower and are happening mainly in prefrontal cortical areas, okay? These are the basics of language processing. I'm not going to the details of those language processes, but it is important for you to understand that when we talk about development, those fast processes would start to be developed in the first few months and years of childhood development, and then those slow processes, those top-down processes, would be happening in the later age. Okay, so it seems that the speed of those processes that are happening in really first few seconds of language processing. These processes would be developed in the first few months and years of childhood development, and those processes are related to prefrontal cortex and higher level of conscious process of language. They would be happening in the later ages, from age of 2, 3, and 4 years old. So we have these processes happening at that stages of development. So you can see that all these pieces would come together in the process of development. So that is an initial overview about the language development, just to have a sense and a brief idea about how language development would start from really early in childhood, and then over the process of time, all these items would be added to the complexity of language processing, from simple processes in the initial and primary language processing areas to more complex ones that are related to the prefrontal cortex and areas related to prefrontal cortex.